Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rinse. And of course, I am your host, your YouTuber, sign off and imitator, never duplicator, superstar Tim Vicious. And we're gonna go over Raw this week. Was in San Antonio, Texas. Now, before we do though, we gotta switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And the big highlights from last week's SmackDown, well, it started out with Roman and the family coming out, highlighting on Roman coming out, talking about on how he had to get off the private island, take the private jet, ride in the private limo, get to the arena, because he had to show everyone that he's still in God mode. He's still at the top of the mountain. And you know, he's got a big old smile on his face. He's happy. Sees his cousins are happy. Then he looks over. Wise man, you do not look happy. What is wrong? Why do you have that look on your face, wise man? And then Paul, wise man being my savior, Paul Heyman, of course. My tribal chief, my concern is your upcoming match at SummerSlam. It is against Brock Lesnar. Are we doing this again? We doing this again, Paul? No, my tribal chief, it's not like that. It is because you are on a unprecedented reign. You are coming up on 700 days champion. People have said Brock Lesnar could not conquer many things. They said Brock Lesnar could not win the Royal Rumble, but he did. People said Brock Lesnar could not win Money in the Bank, but he did. They said Brock Lesnar could not win in the UFC, but he did. They said Brock Lesnar could not conquer The Undertaker's undefeated streak, but he did. My tribal chief, I have all the utmost confidence in you. But I know it is a last man standing match, and you're going to have to get mean, you're going to have to get nasty, and I'm paraphrasing all this, mind you, and pun definitely intended. You're going to have to get vicious against Brock Lesnar. And I am not, Paul's expressing his concerns on how he doesn't want Roman to have to go down that kind of low down dirty road and all that. And then afterwards, then we get Theory walking down, and he doesn't say a word. All he does is literally walk down, circle the ring, holding the Money in the Bank briefcase in his hand, like that, and then leave. Just as a way to cock tease, saying like, hey, I can cash in anytime I want, boy. I can go and get you. I can get you. So after that we had the Viking Raiders going against Jinder and Shanky, which they beat the living tar out of them. Then the New Day came out after the match saying they're there to go and give the Raiders a butt whooping, which, yeah, the Raiders then put the New Day on the ass end of an ass kicking. Not much of a shock there. Next up we had Gunther coming out, issuing not an open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, no. Instead, it's an open challenge to see if you are worthy of challenging for the Intercontinental Championship, which I thought was kind of interesting. Now, before I get to that, I do want to also note Pat McAfee was not at SmackDown because after the Money in the Bank show, Corbin choked out McAfee, hence why he had the neck brace on at the UFC show later on that night. Corbin was emphasizing on how he did that, and then was talking about on how he accepted McAfee's challenge for a match at SummerSlam. But back to the ring, Nakamura came out, and then it was Nakamura against Ludwig Kaiser, and I gotta say, this was a damn good match between them two. I fucking liked it. Nakamura got the win. Afterwards, though, Gunther ripping Ludwig Kaiser a new one, basically yelling at him, talking down to him, like, come on, get up, and then Kaiser just kind of looking all hesitant, like, and then puffed his chest out, and then Gunther, whams, chopped the fucking soul out of him, like, I am not working for that man. Because the second I fuck up, I'm gonna get my ass whooped, and I don't want that. next up, then we had Natalya versus Ronda Rousey, and this came to be because Liv Morgan came out and was being interviewed, giving a "follow your dreams, you can reach your goals, I'm living proof," blah 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 kind of promo. And you know, I'm just gonna say this right here, right now. I was not a fan of that promo. It felt more like, don't get me wrong, I'm very much so utmost confident that she really was into all of that and really believed all of it, but her delivery and the way she verbalized and articulated everything, it felt like she was just reading a straight script and not putting any emphasis and not putting her own oomph into it, you know. Well, I get it, you gotta read the script, but make it your own thing. Make it your own thing and make it your own flow. You know? Because I guarantee if you had Trish Stratus or Lita or even Medusa or any other woman wrestler from back in the day go and give that same kind of a promo, they would have been able to put their own oomph into it and would have been able to sell it. Liv, though, did not. And yeah, it felt like it was pretending to play it felt like a playing wrestler kind of promo. But Liv was doing that. Natty then came out saying, "You only won that match because of me. I deserve a title shot, blah, blah, blah." Then Ronda came out and started getting in Natty's face, and then they had their match. Ronda got the win, so yay, Ronda got her victory over Natty now. Yeah. Then we had a Proving Grounds match with the Usos against Los Lotharios. Usos got the win, much to no surprise. But the main story for that match was to build up for the Usos versus Street Profits coming up at SummerSlam. And I know a lot of y'all are all saying the same thing. Again, we're getting this match. We already seen it before. How many times can they keep doing this? Their tag team division is such shit. Blah, 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 blah. We get it. Listen, it's common knowledge, and it's not hidden out there in any way, shape, or form. Vince doesn't really like tag teams. Okay, we've established that. Now let's move forward from that part for a moment. Now, I love tag team wrestling. I do. I fucking love it. However, when you look at it from a business perspective, now, you want to have a very deep tag roster, then you're going to need at least 40 to 60 guys, which, my math is really fucked up, so I think maybe like 20 to 30 teams, you know? And having that many guys, that's going to cost a lot of money. So, yeah, and I know if you want to make that argument, oh, you're talking about money, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're just focusing on the money and all that jazz. Yeah, whatever. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I am. You know why? Because it's a fucking business. And if you're not in business to make a fucking dollar, then what the fuck you doing in it? Because every dollar you spend, you gotta earn at least 3 more. That's on how you make profit. I mean, it's fucking common fucking sense. Ugh. Finally, the last match on SmackDown was Drew McIntyre. It was scheduled Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Winner faces Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle in September. Drew was in there. Sheamus came out with Ridge and Butch. Sheamus said, "Whoa, hold on there, fella." You see, I had a bit of a COVID. So, you know, I'm a bit under the weather. So I can't compete tonight. But you see, Butch here. Butchie's ready for a good scrap. So we had Drew versus Butch. And this was a good match. I dug it. I dug the shit out of it. Drew got the win afterwards. So yeah, Drew's going to face Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle. Not much of a shock there. I'm all for it. And, you know, if Drew wins, and, well, that would definitely be a winnable match there for him. I could see that. Just, fuck. You got a Scottish guy winning in a UK pay-per-view. Fuck, that's just screaming money. So, now with that said, now let's get into this week's show. Raw, San Antonio, Texas. Get it out there right now. No HBK run-ins. So the show starts off with Cowboy Brock coming out doing Cowboy Brock shit. Takes off his hat. Even y'all, now I'm going to show some good manners. Take my hat off, put it right there. And then talked about on how at SummerSlam, Roman, he's a hog, and the hogs get slaughtered. And he's going to slaughter that hog. And all that. And then mighty Savior Paul Heyman comes out. He talks about Brock. You see, you have an unfair advantage. You are going to be in a last man standing match against Roman Reigns. And while Roman has been showing and highlighting his wrestling skills for coming up on almost 700 days in his championship reign, he does not have to show specific scientific wrestling skills. No, you have the advantage because it is a last man standing, so all you have to do is just beat and pummel him for a 10 count. But do not think just because you have the advantage you are going to win. Because my tribal chief is able to adapt in any situation, and he will beat you and smash you and destroy you, and then he will still continue his championship reign. All that jazz. And then, so that was it for then. Theory came out, took over the Okerlund position, saying on how he's gonna, no matter who wins, Roman or Brock, he's walking out of SummerSlam as champ. And then Brock just sitting in the ring. Well, boy, you feeling that froggy? Why don't you come on down, see if you can take an ass whooping? Nah, I'll deal with you when I'm ready. And then walks out. So then we go to commercial, or not commercial. Then we stop. Then we get to our first match of the night. Now I'm gonna say this right now. Tonight's show was a dud. It was a stinker. But we'll get into that as we go. First match tonight was Rey Mysterio against Finn Balor, and before the match, Finn and Damian Priest, they were talking to Dominik, trying to convince Dominik, you know, you don't need to stay in your dad. You don't need to stay with your dad. You don't need to hide behind your dad's shadow anymore. I mean, come on. Your dad's got almost a 20-year legacy in WWE. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stay there your whole life, or why don't you come with us? Join the Judgment Day. We have free cookies. Doing that kind of a bit. So then we get the match. It was decent work in there, nice work. Finn, he was leading the pace. Finn was leading the match, focusing on Rey's one knee, which, you know, there's definitely a Rey Mysterio knee joke in there. But for the sake of time constraints, I'm not going to make it. It was okay, decent enough match. Finn wound up getting the win by doing the Bloody Sunday and then hitting the coup de grace on him. And then afterwards, they were yelling over at Dominik. This is what happens. This is what happens. You need to join us and all this, that, and the other. Next up, we had Becky Lynch cutting a promo saying on how she beat Asuka in a no-holds-barred match last week. Therefore, she deserves to be #1 contender. She deserves a title shot. And you ever want to piss me off, and I mean, and I'm not even talking wrestling, I'm just talking life in general. You ever want to piss me off? Say on how you deserve something. Say on how I deserve this, or I deserve that, or you deserve this, or you deserve that. No. No. Ain't none of us deserve shit. You want it, you gotta go out there and fucking work for it and get it. You don't deserve, none of us deserve shit. We want it, we gotta work for it. That's it, plain and simple. Because, listen, there's people out there that do way better shows out there on YouTube than me. They get way less views or notice or attention than I do. Much like there's people out there that do way shittier shows than me, but get millions upon millions of shows. don't mean either one of them deserve either. You want it, you got to work for it. That's it, plain and simple. Either way. Becky Lynch, she does that. Then we get Bianca Belair against Carmella. Bianca, Carmella. Took my heart medication. Yeah. Decent match. Bianca, she was leading the pace and the flow. I gotta say, this match, it was a good follow-up from their match at Money in the Bank. Decent match. Carmella wound up getting the win via a count-out because as Carmella and Bianca were both outside, Carmella rolled inside, and as Bianca was about to get in, she was on the apron. Becky Lynch then came over, whoa! And then looked like she was about to deck her and then pulled her arm down. And then Bianca said, what, you want to do something? Come on, let's do this then. Let's do this. And then the ref hit 10, ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. Here's your winner as a result of a count-out, Carmella. Yeah. And then Carmella standing there holding the title, gloating, I won, I won, I won. Even though we all know titles don't change hands via count-outs, but yeah. Either way. Personal prediction, I'm saying SummerSlam either triple threat with them, with Carmella, Bianca, and Becky, or one-on-one Bianca and Becky. Either way. Next up, we had Miz and Ciampa doing a Miz TV segment with giving Ciampa the limelight, saying on why he's doing what he's been doing, working with Miz and all, and he's there just hit the nail on the head. He wants it all. He wants the attention. He wants the spotlight. He wants the glitz, the glamour, the fame, and all that jazz. All of it. All of it. He wants it. Now you see, that makes more sense than saying I deserve it. But that neither here nor there. They're talking about on how they have an upcoming handicap match against AJ Styles. Then out comes Uncle Alan, getting ready to go and talk about Miz's balls again, which, okay, listen, I'm just gonna say this now. Can we fucking stop talking about the Miz's nuts? Please. After he's done doing that, then Ezekiel comes out saying that he talked to Adam Pearce and he felt that a 2-on-1 handicap match is a little unfair for AJ, so we turn this into a tag team match, players. Holla, holla, holla. So we got Miz and Ciampa against AJ Styles and Ezekiel. Nice little start with Ciampa and Zeke. You know, I dug it. It was good. Then Zeke became the punching bag. AJ got the hot tag. It's decent match. You know, nothing to really write home about though. Match came to an end via disqualification when AJ had the calf killer in on Miz. Miz looking like he's fighting not to tap out. Ciampa then comes in, attacks AJ, and then starts pummeling him something stupid until the ref winds up eventually calling for the bell. So yeah, then they say your winner as a result of a disqualification, AJ Styles and Ezekiel. So yeah. Next up, oh boy. Next up, women's tag action. Little Miss Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Yeah, heart meds. Good thing I took the heart meds. Bliss and Asuka against Nikki, A.S.H and Doudrop, and Bliss wound up working as the team punching bag until Asuka got the hot tag in. Very, very much so. Bleh. Kind of a match. Nothing to really write home about. It felt like a filler. It felt like a filler match. That's all it was, plain and simple. Match came to an end when Alexa Bliss hit the Bliss DDT onto Nikki, A.S.H. Got the 1-2-3, that was it. Then next up, we got Uso. It's originally scheduled Jey Uso against Angelo Dawkins. Usos are out there cutting a promo, talking about on how they're on Raw. It's the first time they're on Raw. Sends Money in the Bank. And then they're going to go and whoop some Street Profit ass. Street Profits come out talking about on how come SummerSlam they're going to take those titles back. And they did also announce there's going to be a special guest referee for the match. Usos were saying, we don't care who it is, as long as they know how to count to 3. So, Prophets are out there, Usos are out there, and then we get fucking R-Truth. God bless. R-Truth is a goddamn national treasure that needs to be protected at all costs. Truth comes out and says, yo, now I know all y'all know I got a lot of certifications. I'm a certified divorce lawyer. I'm a certified marriage counselor. Now, I'm also a certified tag team therapist. So let's bring this in, folks. Let's bring this in, y'all. Let's figure this out. Usos, Truth, unless you got a ref shirt underneath that, you need to get your ass out of here. And then they go and just like grab his certification, throw it out. No, I do want to let y'all know, you need a referee. I'm certified in that too. And I can count to 3. Watch. 1, 2, 3, yeah! And then takes off his shirt, shows he's got a ref shirt on. Then they go and tell Truth, listen, get your ass out of here now. Truth, looking like he's struggling to get his shirt off. And then Omos and MVP come out. MVP saying basically, now listen, what we have here is prime opportunity. Because having the 7-foot, 403-pound Nigerian giant Omos special guest referee your match at SummerSlam, that is what's necessary. Not some clown like R-Truth. Yeah, but I bet he can't count to 3. Bet he can't count to 10. Truth, you can't count to 10. Woo! Nice snap back by MVP right there. And then, yeah, next thing you know, one thing leads to another. So now instead of a one-on-one, now we got a trios match. Usos and Omos against Street Profits and R-Truth. Excuse me. Truth wound up working as the punching bag. Ford wound up getting a hot tag in. It was good action. Dawkins wound up getting time to shine as well. Match came to an end when eventually Omos wound up doing a blind tag to get in. And then did the two-handed choke slam on to Dawkins. 1, 2, 3. So now we come to main event of the night. The almighty United States Champion Bobby Lashley with Riddle going against Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because freaking is not his middle name, it's Elizabeth, and Theory. Now, nice start for the match. The big thing that made everyone's head turn was right out of nowhere, whoa, what the hell? Dolph Ziggler's music hits and he comes out and he's wearing a suit, got his hair done, got his hair ponytailed up, looking like Triple H out of 2002. Like, what the hell? The hell you doing out here? He just walks on down all nonchalant, grabs a chair, sits over by the commentator, Seth's just watching the whole time. Like that. Yeah. So, yeah, Riddle wound up working as the punching bag. Bobby got the hot tag in. That's not much of a surprise, because really, could you picture Bobby Lashley being the punching bag in this match, given everyone that you read is in this? I mean, come on now. But, yeah, so Bobby wound up taking out Seth by spearing him through the timekeeper's area. Theory was in there working with Riddle, wound up taking him down, and then Theory went for a pin, had his feet on the ropes. 1, 2, but Ziggler goes and swipes Theory's feet off the ropes, and then Theory just yelled, "What's going on? What'd you do that for, man? What the hell? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that shit?" And then next thing you know, Riddle, boom, RKO. 1, 2, 3, that is it. So your winners are Bobby Lashley and Riddle. Afterwards, when Riddle gets back on his feet, Ziggler then pops him with a super kick. End of show, fade to black. Yeah, there were 6 matches on the total of this week's show. 4 of them were tag matches. I'm not even gonna, like I said, this week's show was extremely lackluster, and I was disappointed on it. But it happens, you know, much like any show. Sometimes you're going to have hits and you're going to have misses. This was a mess. So with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure you check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. They're a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right on the Twitter. Kenny Killer, DSB_IB, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, and Dubs in your face. And don't forget to check out whatamaneuver.net for some vicious rants apparel. Help support the show and pay the bills for this place. And folks, like I always say, you love me great and hate me. Fuck you.